What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Today I'm setting up my February monthly spreads. As you can tell, I decided to. Okay, first of all, if you watched my January plan with me, you saw or heard me say that I didn't give myself enough time to plan a theme. So it came out being just really simple and minimal, and I wanted to give myself more time for February so I could do a more artistic one, and I did that, and I'm so happy with how it came out. So as you can see, I'm doing like a line art kind of thing, and I wanted to tie into sort of the self-love aspect that a lot of people are including into their journal this month, but I didn't want to make it so obvious. I didn't want to make that the main focus. So I just chose this quote. I don't know who actually said it, but the picture I saw quoted Oprah. So anyway, it says, "Seek to be whole, not perfect." And I thought that was cute and inspiring, and just like, it ties into self-love. Also, every single one of the illustrations that I draw are females because, self-love, female empowerment. But yeah, this month's theme is green, if you couldn't tell already. And the only reason I chose green is because last month I did yellow. And I'm a little bit obsessed with the rainbow, so I had to go in order. I don't know if I'll keep it up for the whole year. I might. Actually, I genuinely might, but we'll see. So here I'm setting up the calendar for this month, which is perfect. This month's calendar is perfect, and I love that. It just looks, it's so satisfying to just see the perfect 4 weeks of February. It's wonderful. Anyway, the boxes are just 6x6. I ended up just doing like little dots with each of the Crayola super tips that I'm using for the month, and just alternated between them. If you watched my January plan with me, you would have, or you know, that I don't use these calendar setups like people normally do. I don't use them to write down events or things that I've planned throughout the month. I actually use them as kind of like a one line a day type of spread. So every day I come in here and fill out just like highlights of that day, just like jot down what happened. I do daily entries, so I do go into more detail and actually write about, just what happened throughout the day or just something that's on my mind. But in this page, in this spread, I just come in and fill out just like one line a day. Just like, oh, today I finished this book and I went out to eat with a friend, or, stuff like that. Throughout this whole spread, I just stick to a very simple cursive font. I used my 08 mild liner. Not mild liner, that's a lie. Pigma Micron, my 08 Pigma Micron. And for the drawings, I used my 03 Pigma Micron. I actually got the idea to do the little blobs of color from Claudia Joseph. So if y'all haven't heard of her, she's another YouTuber that does bullet journal stuff. She's pretty big, so I highly doubt you guys haven't heard of her. But if you haven't, her video will be linked down below, the one that gave me the inspiration for this, and as well as other videos that I mentioned throughout this video. I will make sure to link them below, and also like Instagram pictures that gave me ideas, or Pinterest pictures, just all of that stuff. So for this next spread, I'm doing my finance tracker, finance logs. If you can see on the left hand side, there's a spot that says Clio. That's because I have an app that's called Clio that actually like tracks bills and all of that stuff. And every week the app will take out a certain amount from my bank account to add to a savings account. So I just wanted to keep track of that so I don't just randomly lose money and at the end of the month I'm like, where'd it go? And then I also have a spot for my income and for my bills. I accidentally made one too many spots on my income tracker, so I had to improvise, but that's okay. Nothing to worry about there. It's all good. I came to a conclusion, so we're fine. But yeah, I also got this idea from Mochi Journals. Like I said, I'll have those videos linked below. And I thought it was really simple and cute, and since there's not too much going on with that drawing, but I kind of didn't want to take away from that, I guess I should say. I wanted the focus, I guess, to be the drawing, so I wanted to keep the rest of it just really simple and minimal. So for the next page, as you can see, I have another detached page. I just ripped this out. Well, not ripped. I cut it out of another Archer and Olive notebook that I have. I do plan on getting the notepad that they have in their store, but that will just come later. I need to get it soon though because I need to stop ripping pages out of my other notebooks. Anyway, this is for my expenses tracker. So every purchase made throughout the month, I write down here. I track it on this paper. So as you can see, it's just a simple table. The first section is for the date. The next one is for the description of the purchase. And then you'll see that I have two that are just one grid space wide, and that's because that is just to indicate whether I deposited money into the account or if I spent money. So it's just a plus or minus in whichever column, it fits. And then I also have a spot for the cost of the purchase or the deposit, then the amount that's in my bank account after the transaction, and then the last one is for the total amount of money that I have spent so far during that month. So for example, if my first purchase was $10, my second purchase was $25, and then my third purchase was another $10, the first section in that last column, the first one would say $10, the second one would say $35, and then the next one would say $45. So just to keep track of how much money I spend throughout that month. So as you can tell in the actual journal itself, I'm actually doing this one more time, but I also added a little spot at the end of that table to write down the total amount of money I spent in that entire month. That's why I like including that column, because that way I don't have to go through all at once and add up all of the money that I spent, because I'm just already doing it throughout the month, and it saves me some time and it saves me from making mistakes, because doing everything, every transaction, adding all of those numbers up all at once is just, there's more room for error. So I just made it a little easier on myself. I also made a little spot for my savings, because every week that I get paid, I add a little percentage of my actual check to my savings account. So I just put a little spot there to keep track of that as well. Also, did y'all see that? I bent my paper while I was erasing it, and that made me so freaking sad, because everything was going so well, and then that happened and I had to fuck it up. Anyway, I'm gonna erase the focus part after I ink it, and the same thing's gonna happen. I'm gonna crease the page again, and I was so fucking mad. I was so upset because everything was going so well. Everything was looking perfect and neat and clean, and then all of a sudden I'm erasing this, trying to make it look pretty, and then I fuck it up. Sorry, I don't mean to get heated. It just bothers me so much when that happens because you can clearly just see the little creases and it looks so ugly. Anyway, let's actually talk about the spread that I'm working on. This is a focus spread. I didn't want to do a habit tracker because I don't really keep track of habits like that. See? Sorry, I'm like, this is so chaotic. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I got this idea from Mochi Journals. She did this and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I'll just like go in and mark, just like put an X on the square where I did art, if I did art that day, or if I filmed or edited, or if I knit, whatever. So yeah, I thought it was really simple, minimal, and cute, and I didn't really have any ideas for like a habit tracker, so this was a good choice. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm a little out of it today. Anyway, onto the mood tracker. I think this is one of my favorite like faces that I drew. I don't know why. I just really like it, and I really like how the flower turned out. But this is the mood tracker. I got this inspiration from, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the name of the girl, but I will link her down below, her page. I got it off of an Instagram picture and I was like, oh, that's cute. And I didn't really have any ideas. I didn't have a way to incorporate the theme of the month, because usually I do like little doodles that kind of tie into the theme, but I couldn't really think of anything for this one, so I just decided to do this simple circle tracker, which I've never actually done before, so I was like, oh, cute, something new. Anyway, here's my little key. I kind of wish I had used the mild liner also, but it looks too similar to the lightest Crayola Super Tip, so I was like, I think I'll leave it out. But yeah. And this spread actually is something that I never actually thought I would include in my monthly spreads, but I'm kind of happy that I did, and I'm kind of looking forward to using it. As you can see, it's a content planner. I also got this idea from Mochi Journals. Like I said, I'll link that down below. And yeah, so it's literally just a calendar. It's just a calendar. It's 3 by I think 5 spaces, and I'm just gonna come in here, and every day that I plan to make something or that I plan to post something, I'll just write it in there, and that way I can keep track of what I want to do when it comes to my YouTube or my Instagram. And there's that cute little drawing at the bottom. This one's also one of my favorites. I really like how the rose kind of, I don't know what the word would be for that. There's a rose where her eye should be. And I think that, I don't know, I just think it's so pretty. I'm really happy with how that one turned out. It's really cute. And then again, just adding some little blobs throughout the whole thing. So this next spread, I also got the idea from Claudia Joseph's February plan with me. She just did a sort of an album review page for one of Black Bear's albums, and I was like, oh, that's a nice idea. Especially because for the past like week or so, I've been obsessed with this specific album, and I just listened to it on repeat. I thought, since I don't actually make playlists in my journal, I was like, I'm gonna do a monthly review every single month of the album that I'm obsessed with for the month, because I usually do listen to an album thoroughly. Like, I'll listen to one album for days upon days upon days, and I really just take it all in. So I'm just gonna focus on one album every month, and then when I set up the next monthly spreads, I will include my review of every song off that album in one of the pages for my monthly spreads. I realize now though that I should have left a spot for, I mean, I can still do it at the bottom, for giving the album a rating as a whole, because you'll see in a little while I do rate every single song separately in the boxes. Also, this album had 19 songs, so I had to do this 19 times, and let me just tell you, I was so done by like the 5th one. Anyway, I couldn't think of any other way to do it, so I was like, whatever, I'll just keep it all neat and in boxes and just do this, and hopefully come up with a better plan for next month, because I don't want to do this again. I don't want to go through that again. But like I was saying, I think I will still add it, now that I think about it, to the bottom there where the little blobs are. Yeah, but I thought this was a really cute idea. I'll leave a link down below as well to this album if you're interested in listening to it. It's so good. You can easily find translations online if you are interested in what the song is actually saying, because it is in French, most of them. Pretty much all of them. There's like 2 or 3 that say some French or have some verses in English and stuff like that. But yeah, check it out. I genuinely really like this album, and overall I think I would give it like a 4.5 star rating. It's not my favorite, but I really enjoy listening to it. So here is the final flip through. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm very happy with how this theme turned out. I really like it, and I hope that you guys did too. I hope that it gives you some inspiration, and of course don't forget to check out the videos that inspired me. They will all be linked in the description. But I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.